Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is episode 270, back in the Church Room Bar. Thanks. I've already forgotten his name, but
Brock.
Oh, I was gonna remember it. Thanks to Brock for last week's episode. If you haven't heard that one yet, go back and listen, watch. It's a great episode.
I was just telling Jay in full confidence for all the Chuggalos, I don't remember 3/4 of that one. I remember being egregiously cut off just because it was my road kit, and Brock was a late addition. But for the thousands and thousands of hours that he has watched the podcast, he
big time listener.
Fit right in.
Yeah, he fit right in. I like the guest episodes when it's more conversational instead of more interview. Like I love doing breweries and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we have guests on that we can kind of just like chit chat with.
But I think a lot of my problem was I couldn't get it loud enough. I kept trying to like hit it louder. I was trying to make
couldn't hear me?
I was trying to make it go up to 11. And a lot of it was just the action on our side. The fantastic, again, bar none or top 3 easy. And there's a huge gap. Funniest people I know in my life. Like in the last year of my life up until that, the funniest person that was in my life just for that period of time.
Brock's a good name for a funny person.
And his brother's name is Bjorn.
Bjorn.
And his sister's name,
I would never have guessed that.
Very Norwegian. They're from northern Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Very northern.
Yeah.
Like hours.
So they have a tradition.
Their house is made out of lefse.
Oh, lefse.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's a Norwegian.
I've heard of it.
It's like a potato tortilla. Just think you use a potato press.
That sounds good. Potato tortilla.
Lefse is divine.
Oh man, sounds good.
But we're gonna do it a little bit different today.
A little different.
We're cutting out the starter beer because it's a quantity thing. I have 2 pints, and because I'm just gonna get out the first one right away.
Yeah.
So I've heard it before. JT's heard it before. We go with safe beer. We don't go adventurous. Nothing like that. JT.
Is that true?
JT. Oh yeah, all the time. JT, I have 2 beers. Either one of these would be acceptable answers. What are my 2 most loathed beers?
Loathed.
Like I just absolutely.
Yeah.
You can go with types of beer, or just obviously Wild Ohio. But,
yeah, right.
But types of beer, not like
most
makers.
Loathed types of beer.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That I openly
I know you don't
avoid.
like hazies.
Okay, so that one's fine. Like I've got.
You're fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured that it was more of a exaggerated loathe.
Yeah.
The 2 types of beers that you absolutely loathe are
that I try to avoid. One's I'll give you
commons.
Commons, yeah. Then number one
probably for everyone.
I'm taking that and I'm running to the bathroom and dumping it out and saying, "Do you have something else?"
I'm gonna guess.
The other one's kind of tough.
Is it tough? I think it's probably.
I'll give you a hint if you don't get it.
It's Christmas ale.
No, I like some of the spice ones. This one's more of a color. I don't like this color in my beer.
Oh, you don't like this color in your beer?
I don't like this. If it's blank,
orange
color. Okay, that's a flavor.
It is a flavor. But it's also a color.
I would, because Taco Party was my beer of the year. Reds.
Reds. You don't like Reds.
It would help if I grabbed the same beer as JT.
Okay, I mean, I looked at it. I thought, this can't have anything to do with it.
So this is an Imperial Aggro, Imperial Red IPA from Cinderlands. Cinderlands is very famous to JT. And this is called Aggro Slag. So we're going to go with the crack. This is an 8.5%, again, Ripa Red Imperial.
I like that.
So,
Ripa. Kelly Ripa.
Remember
her?
Crave
what happened to her?
Her and her husband, Mark Consuelos. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I readjusted all my fingers on that one.
Yeah, that one was not loaded, not primed.
So it's just called Kelly Live now, but it's her and her husband, Mark Consuelos.
I didn't know that she was still doing it. Famously, she was with Regis on 9/11. During 9/11. They still have that video up on YouTube.
That's something I might check out, just out of curiosity. Okay, so again, Chuggalos. I, again, don't like Reds. I don't like California Commons. And I purposely bought this one to challenge myself. You're also going to see...
I'm glad you did.
You're also going to see on the order of today's episode with the second beer, I'm challenging both of our palates.
Okay.
So while we do that, because again, this is going to be our starter beer, we're not going to tip our hand. I've got a beer story. I told JT to queue up his queue up.
Yeah, I've queued it up.
So I'm going to put this link down below, but I'm going to read the story. JT, I encourage you to watch the video.
Okay, on silent.
You can watch it on silent.
All right, let me turn my volume down.
I don't think you need the volume.
Okay.
And then...
Watching it. I went 30 seconds in.
Yeah, 30 seconds in.
Yeah.
Describe what you're seeing.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing a brewer in a hooded sweatshirt and beanie get absolutely blasted by the stream of an open vat.
Yep. I'm going to tell you what the story is here.
Wow, he got rocked. He went feet.
Spring Park, Minnesota, so it's just west to the Twin Cities, almost by Waconia. We've got Chuggalo Dave up there. An unlucky brewer in Minnesota is going viral after a video shows him literally getting blown away by a blast of beer.
Oh, man.
Brendan Babcock, a brewer with Back Channel Brewing Company, was checking systems on a stainless steel tank on January 23rd when a valve malfunctioned. Boy, does it ever. Again, the link will be below. A high-pressure burst of beer spewed all over Babcock, sending him flying backwards. He was thrown over 10 feet, which JT said is accurate. The incident left Babcock, what do you think, what kind of beer?
It looks like an IPA.
It was an IPA. JT just on fire today. Ale, but no worse for the wear. He quickly went in to save the suds mode, trying to plug the malfunctioning vat.
Dang.
The brewery later shared it on social media and appropriately named the beer Blowback, as it was and it's obviously a limited release because so much of the beer
right, a lot left.
But that guy got and no damage. You know, sometimes you will see people that get hit by cars flip and then they get up. Then they're fucked up, but this guy perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean the
Check
sternum's
the link out
pretty
below.
strong. It looks like he got a little sternum right, and then as he went, like if this is the stream, as it hit his sternum, and as he went, he fell, and so the stream kind of went up his face. Probably got a nose full of beer. What's the temperature of beer in those things? Is it?
It depends where it is. It could be anywhere from, you know, as cold as the Rockies, like Coors or whatever, but, you know, if it was still cooking or whatever. But I'm going to guess it wasn't boiling or anything like that. So it wasn't
sure
like
wasn't.
Scalding. We would have got an injury report there.
Valve malfunction.
So on my notes, I said that was a brewtastrophe.
Oh, yeah. Brewtastrophe.
That's just what I came up. I know
Those are good notes. Those are great notes, actually.
I want
a brewtastrophe.
I want to find that beer next time I'm up in Minnesota, but it's obviously going to be a limited release. I've got Chuggalos in the area. We've got Chuggalos in the area. If you see that, please get us a bottle. We'll do an out show. Blowback. From again, I did the brewery. I just want to do it again. Crap.
Is it black something? I saw that in the story. It was
Back Channel Brewing Company. All right.
Back Channel.
So back to the beer that is in front of us and that we're drinking, which is always arguably the best kind of beer. This is Cinderlands. Again, the Aggro Slag. You can find out more from Cinderlands.com, and they're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. JT, do you remember the last time we did Cinderlands?
I do.
Was that a very memorable beer? Our fine friends reached out from Cinderlands, and they suggested this beer.
Oh, did they?
For you specifically.
For me?
For you.
Oh, shit. I didn't know they reached out.
Should I give you a hint?
Yeah.
It was episode 255, so it was very recent.
I was going to guess 260.
Do you remember what type of beer it was?
Cinderlands. What? It was a wheat beer, maybe?
It was a smoked Schwartz beer.
I knew it was something weird.
Are we jogging memories? See again,
smoked
weird
beer, man.
beers.
So they reached out after that? Because I remember not. I remember thinking, wow.
They reached out, and pretty soon we're going to be owned, and as a subsidiary, we're going to sell out to them for literally $17s of dollars.
That's great, 17s.
I'll split it with you. You take the 10s because I want the 1s, so I will take 7 1s. So again, check out that episode. That was fantastic. JT scored that smoked Schwartz beer a .25.
Yeah, low score.
It was not. I gave it a 4, so that was our biggest chasm.
Yeah, big chasm.
Biggest chasm for the year. Again, their website, they're primarily, and this is going to create an interesting conversation, but they're primarily, they're in the warehouse district. So anyways, with a brewery like that, point of sale, I was trying to learn out about us. Absolutely no crowler fills or growler fills.
No growler fills.
But it's confusing on their website. Check out Cinderlands.com. They will fill them, but they have to smell them. They won't put it in any sort of off-putting. They don't. You have to bring your own. They don't have any glassware. I've never seen so many rules for a crowler.
Interesting. I wonder why.
Because a lot of places like point of sale, if you buy it from them, you're going to get glass because glass is recyclable, or hardly ever are you getting metal. And they're trying to push, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to push their crowler sale rather than, but there's a lot of people, like last year I don't think I used my growler at all, but in years past I've used it quite a bit. And again, they're trying to push their crowler with the understanding, sorry Stacy, that they're trying to sell their beer in optimum condition.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you don't want fucked up, tainted growlers.
But imagine like getting there and like you drove 100 miles and they smell it and they're like, nope, not putting it in there. I've never seen, maybe
then if you drove 100 miles, you can buy it.
Yeah, unique filling experiences. Have you ever experienced anything like going like, you know, either if you're buying a crowler, like if they have some, or like filling a growler, any unique experiences that you have experienced, or anyone you know?
I went to Whiskey Hill, if you remember Whiskey Hill.
I've been there.
And they filled...
Right across the train tracks.
Yeah, they filled up, I believe it was what's the crowler's ounces?
That's a 32.
Yeah, it was a crowler. It was a can.
And they
seal it right there in front of you, and I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
And then I know Chuggalos Phil has had many growlers.
Yeah.
Like, he got some from DBC, got some from, actually, I think just DBC.
I feel like such a badass when I bring my growler into those situations, but then I always feel so much pressure to drink it while it's still. Me. Yeah, look at this guy.
Look at me, I drink beer.
I drink, and it's a cool, steampunkish.
I brought some from home.
Right. Look at, I can't grow facial hair or anything like that, so I don't have a fixie bicycle, but that's the type of individuals. I know the most I paid for a growler full of 120 minute. That's 64 ounces. I think it was over $100.
Yeah, I bet.
Worth it. Just, bucket list type thing.
Right.
When it was less available. But anyways, so Cinderlands, they wanted to make it up to you, JT.
Well, I appreciate that.
So they're like, here's one, it's in your area, and that's the most prevalent thing about Cinderlands website. It's 15 different ways to find their beer.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And they list halls on there.
Oh, do they? Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, that's good. So they know they're close then.
Yeah.
I love Pittsburgh. I go to these cities that are, small and underappreciated, and I have a great time. I don't know what people hate on. Pittsburgh's a nice little city.
I think we identify just with our mentality, and even though neither one of us are very blue collar, we have blue collar roots.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh is just one of those cities that both of us can identify with, be it pierogies or where's their sandwich? The Primanti Brothers. I guess the original location just burnt down. And
did it? Shit, I went there.
Maybe somebody. Maybe Def Frat Guy or something was make a joke on another podcast. But
maybe.
Anyways, I present to you Cinderlands, the Aggro
Slag. Yep.
I think this is gonna do better. This is my bold guess.
Rippa.
Bold guess for the podcast.
Yeah.
This is gonna be higher than 0.25 for JT.
There it is. Can art bonus segment. I'll pause it there. You guys, I know people complain about me going too fast. That's good.
You did. I mean, it's 15 seconds.
That's a long time in radio world. All right, Can Art Bonus segment. This is brought to you by, would it still be Chuggalo Todd?
I think it's Chuggalo Bruno with the Bill's Donut Beer. By the way, he gave me a lot of notes on that, so he went back and listened. Because I linked him on our...
Yeah, Bruno.
The Parisian donut.
Yeah.
Persian
donut, that's right.
Kept always saying Parisian.
There's like a almost like a playground mountain on the right side here.
Come on, Aggro Slag. What's it sound like?
Aggro Slag?
Yeah, what's it sound like when you were a kid?
Yeah, I don't know what those things are called.
No, the Aggro Crag. Remember the Aggro Crag?
No.
From Guts?
No, I don't know.
What?
I didn't have cable.
It was like a.
Was Guts on Nickelodeon?
The kids' version, yeah, the kids' version of American Gladiators.
Oh, okay.
And they had to climb the Aggro.
That makes sense. That's probably what this is then. So I didn't have that growing up. Didn't have cable.
What the fuck?
Sorry, man. I don't know what that is. But it looks like they're in some sort of lava pit. You know, the floor is lava. That's a fun game to play.
That was the Aggro Crag. It's big.
Oh, all right.
Like
they climb up that.
Kids climbed up it. Yep.
Good. I hope they did. Yeah, and there's someone climbing up it. So that's probably what that is. This is bad for the Can-Out Boner segment. I would have had to have watched kids Nickelodeon. Or Nickelodeon
as opposed to adult Nickelodeon?
When I was a kid, I had to watch Nickelodeon when I was a kid. And there's some molten lava being poured into this pit.
You could watch N-Gas now. It's available.
What is that?
Nickelodeon. It's like the reruns of all the
cool.
90s TV shows.
All right. I won't do that. But...
That was the most unfulfilling cool.
Cool. I mean, it is cool that you can watch old Nickelodeon. I think there's a market for that.
Nostalgia.
I'm not it. And so, yeah, lava's cool. Did you see, like researchers, they threw garbage into the, was it garbage? Or maybe it was more rocks into an active volcano to see what would happen. It was an experiment, but they did it with a live volcano.
Yeah.
And it fucked shit up. Like the volcano was just going crazy. I don't know if it erupted. I think. Well, when I saw the video, the person who posted it said it was garbage. Someone was throwing garbage in. But then there was you know how they have like community notes now.
Yeah.
Someone had said, yeah, it was Twitter. This was actually researchers, and they were throwing rocks of the same type.
Oh, like igneous rocks.
Yeah, into the volcano. And it was like, okay, but it really like fucked shit up. The thing was just going crazy. It was just
was it large quantities?
I think it was one big quantity, one big like clump of those rocks at one instant throw. It wasn't like multiple throws.
You know, we've got a lot of like harmful shit on this planet. You know, decaying radioactive materials from creating bombs and stuff like that. What would happen? We'd have to talk to a volcanologist or a physicist or something if we threw that in there and just disposed of it, or like that was a way to get rid of trash.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting. Maybe that's what they were trying to see. I know a volcanologist. I can talk to him about that.
Well, bury the lead.
Get him on the phone. Yeah. No, the guy who plays bass in my band, he's got his geology is what his PhD is in. But technically, he studied volcanoes. That was his like area of focus. So,
Johns Hopkins educated drummer, a PhD, and then I don't know with Preacher. I don't know what his. I mean, obviously he's somewhat in the same line of work that we are, but
he's got a degree. I don't know in what or where from.
He's probably a 6th degree
probably
black belt
and his black belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very smart guy. So yeah, I'll ask him about that. But I know radioactive material right now. We just have to store it.
Yeah, we bury it in Nevada.
Yeah, it's good. That's a great place for it. Yeah, so that's the Can Out Runner segment. Really just sparked that memory for me. Now, the beer. I think that this beer has quite the bite to it. It's a little chewy. I think for an IPA, it's very thick.
Well, not like a hazy almost? Like a hazy's got like a chew to it. Like
no, not quite. It's bitter, more bitter like a standard IPA. It doesn't have. It's got the imperial kick to it.
Yeah.
On the back end, got that booziness. I just meant like it's the same liquidity or whatever. It's got the same viscousness, if that's a word.
Viscosity,
but it feels thicker.
Okay.
Feels,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like syrupy. But it's not. It's bitter.
You have the palate illusion.
Yeah, there's the illusion of a thicker beer.
Like you're drinking porridge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, drinking porridge. Or like the tomato soup of IPAs. Still liquid, but thick. But it is actually very good. This beer does redeem Cinderlands. I don't know where would I be able to pick out the red?
Yeah, so will you hand me that glass? Because I want to pour the remnants of my beer just in this glass. I should have been better prepared. Again, reds are the terriblest. That's not a... Oh, my goodness. That's the Vig. That's not really a red. That's not like a Killian's.
It's got a little redness to it. It's like a sour IPA.
As a red phobe, like...
As a red phobe.
Maybe a little bit. That's a pretty true color there.
Yeah, I think this beer is redemption. It obviously shows that they don't make garbage beer. But I think I did say that during the smoked beer, there was craft in that beer because they put the smoked flavor in it.
Yeah.
And the smoked flavor just happened to be terrible. But it's there.
You said, and I quote, I wrote this down, "Shame on you and everything that you have done. May God have mercy on your soul."
Yeah, I did say that. That's true. This beer, though, beer is much better.
32 on episode 255.
It's got bite. It's got a bunch of hops in it: Centennial, Magnum, Mosaic, Cryo, Nugget, CGX, and Simcoe.
So all the big players. I mean, Cryo, Simcoe. You wouldn't put Citra in this
red? What have we talked about that?
So my intention was to Google that to figure out like what makes a red IPA.
I can Google it while you do your review if you want.
Okay, we can do it that way. It was my intention when I was writing down the notes.
I think it's a good beer. Imperials, it's just a little stronger, and as long as you can mentally separate the strength of the booze from the bitterness of the hops, I think that anyone will like this beer. But if you can't do that, then you're going to think this beer is like just off-putting.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think this is for somebody who likes to drink IPAs and has had many already. Not in one day, just many in their life.
This would taste great after 12 IPAs.
Yeah. Definitely drink this as your last beer of the night and chug it.
Just pour it onto your carcass.
It's good. It doesn't leave my mouth dry. I wish I don't have more profiles to talk about with this beer, so that the review's pretty much. It's to the max. It's to the extent I can get it.
When you're saying like profile, would you swipe right on this? I think we've done this joke before. We don't know which way to swipe.
Yeah, I don't know which way is the right way. So if I'm swiping right, I'm assuming I'm taking this home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd swipe right on this beer.
Yeah. So we're thinking right means you're wanting to right. Like Netflix and chill. Right?
Yeah. You want Netflix and chill or whatever you do at home. It's up to you. Yeah, 375.
375. Okay.
Yeah, good beer.
While I'm bloviating about this beer, this is going to become a big surprise, especially considering that it's a red. I have never been wrong, and I will never change my opinion about anything. California Commons are the worst, followed up by reds. Reds can go from red pandas to ketchup to red IPAs. This breaks the course and my previously conceived notions about reds. This is a delightful drink. I would have multiple of these. This is an absolute fucking shocker. And this just proves my theory that every once in a while you should deviate from accepted norms, be it your personal norms or societal norms.
You should.
Just randomly not wear pants to work one
day.
Just deviate. Be a little deviant. Off the top rope, did you get your answer?
Yeah.
Oh, God, sweet. Off the top rope, I give this a 4.25.
Ooh, good score.
I would buy more of this, and I like this much like JT. My previous Cinderlands beer, I gave this Smoked Schwartz beer, I gave that a 4, and mostly because that was the affinity of what I thought that they did for the Schwartz beer community. JT liked this one because this one's drinkable.
Yeah.
So we're both moving up our scores for Cinderlands. I like that everything comes in a pint can. Their growler situation's a little difficult to find, but if we ever find ourselves in Pittsburgh this would be a definite place that we would 100% sure. go, especially now that they're an underwriter and they've invested $17 into the Brew podcast. So that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Again, off the top rope, 425-375.
Yeah, it's a good. I like
a shock more than anything.
I like what you're saying about the categorical thing about the other one, the wit beer or whatever it was.
The smoked Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier. I should remember that. I was just told that. This is why I can't remember the episode number ever. I can't even remember what you said 3 seconds ago.
I think it's
I just have like a really big problem with remembering this shit.
I just a lot of people have that when I talk because there's just so much it's quantity thing. Mm-hmm. But
it's not you.
I think your not being able to remember the number is just a gimmick. Because if I didn't write it down and I wasn't like OCD about this stuff, I probably
maybe it's not a gimmick.
It'd be a coin flip.
I'm one of those people who when I meet somebody for the first time, I'm thinking about what I'm going to tell them next while they're telling me their name. There's no way I remember anyone's name the first time I meet them.
Interesting.
Ever. That's why I can never remember anyone's name either. So if I get your name wrong, no offense, I was probably trying to impress you by thinking of something nice to say.
He's got a lot of ways to impress people too. So then he's probably just thinking of different ways that he's going to.
Oh no, impressing people in a conversation is different than just being like dropping like resume bullets on people. You got to be like, you want to be interesting. That's the way you impress people is by being interesting back to them when you're speaking to them.
That's my biggest failure in life.
You're an interesting guy.
I'm not interesting
You're
at all.
An interesting guy.
Like interesting in well, he's interesting. That's like what you say. That's like what old ladies say
like
about
that.
bless his heart.
Oh, bless his heart. Yeah. That poor soul.
That poor soul.
But the Schwarzbier, I like the categorical. We talk about this with breweries and ranking them against themselves. But there's also some of that with like. It is really a genre thing. You can't. I can't say that a 3.75 IPA is going to be the same register in my mind as a 3.75 sour.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Like there's just a difference. So there's a categorical ranking here. Just subconsciously, I think we're doing it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, we've done over 500 beers. There's going to be some sort of, and that's all like fallacy when it comes to rating these. Like, what moment your growth as if we revisit.
That's true.
If we revisited our first 10 beers,
that'd be awesome.
I mean, we could.
I mean, I do Ninja vs. Unicorn
all the time.
All the time, and I like it.
Do you know what your score is?
I don't remember my score from the original week, but I remember being so novice that I was like, not wholly bought into IPAs yet. So yeah, that in some ways that might hurt our credibility. But I think after about 50 beers, our credibility was pretty solid. Like if you started from our 50th beer and worked forward from there, we could be the Michelin star of beer. Because we knew what we were talking about. What were we doing?
We defined our palates.
We were doing one beer an episode for a while. So we were probably 30 to 50 episodes in. And we really started nailing these reviews. So we should be, if someone makes a wiki on our podcast, that could be like the standard bearer. Fuck the American Beer Fest or whatever, Great American Beer Fest. We are the standard.
I mean, there's people that have come and gone that do a beer podcast, and we just
keep going.
We just don't take no for an answer.
We don't.
All right. Oh, there's so much there. We need to get to beer too. Did you kill that one too? Wow. Look at that. It's rare. Okay. So beer number 2, I'm just gonna let you know it's a fruited sour. Typically we do those first because our palates are wrecked. Whatever. Just to set the tone. We're doing it inverse again to mix it all up. This is Hidden Springs Ale Works Riot Juice. It's a 5.5% fruited sour. They're out of Tampa, Florida. Everything that I said, I'm going to speak for JT on this one. Everything that we said about Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay need not apply. I have no interest in going to Tampa.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything for me.
No matter how great you make your city in Florida, it is basically unrememberable based on the humidity and heat. There's nothing you can do about it. Just move your city away from Florida.
Oh, that's like when you shaved that one time, right? It was a Florida.
Oh, yeah. Like after meeting you, the first time I'd shaved my beard, which was quite big, was Florida, yeah.
Okay,
it's too fucking hot.
You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay. So you can find out more at hiddenspringsaleworks.com. I'm just going to save you the trip. It's just an untapped page, essentially. It just says like what they have on tap.
Nice.
The different denominations, be it a flight, a taster, 8-ounce pour, full pint, whatever. And my notes here, basic untapped-esque site.
There might be some palate taint now because we drank such a bitter beer first.
No way.
That first sip of this beer might be... you don't think... I
mean, there could be. I've said that before, but this is super tart.
This is the equivalent of the deployment 10s, you know what I'm talking about? You are on... I don't know how many deployments you guys take in the Air Force without many women, but in the Navy, we go certain places and then you haven't seen... All you've seen is other Navy women for a while.
Yep.
And they... This is going to sound horrible.
There's so many jokes. I just want to interject. The lack of women has never stopped anyone in the Navy.
No, it has. Because unlike popular jokes, I would say the same ratio of homosexual Americans is probably the same in the Navy.
I don't think it changes.
There's not. You don't just become gay because you're in the Navy.
I don't think it changes by service. I think it's very reflective of what societal norms are.
It's fun to joke. It's fun to joke.
Maybe a little bit smaller.
Because the Navy has seamen, you know? It's fun to joke.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He said
you know, you go on deployment, and so there's actually a pretty interesting story. I was in Cuba, and there are some flights back that are military only.
Yep.
And most flights to and from you can share with contractors, civilians, whatever. You can't just be a normal American.
I've been on that flight.
Take that flight.
We fly.
You've gone there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So on the military charter flight, it's basically the one that I've been on. It was a commercial aircraft from one of the popular United States airlines. But somebody had gotten on someone was done with their deployment, got on the plane, was sitting in whatever seat they were sitting in, and as people were passing, this person thought it would be clever to tell them what their mainland ranking would be, because some women become a higher ranking, not women, even men in the women's eyes, or women in the men's eyes become a higher ranking. 1 through 10 you rate, in your mind you're rating women on a scale. You're like, wow, she's a knockout 10. When you're on deployment for a year, sometimes your scale gets all fucked up because you just don't remember seeing women. And back then, the internet was so slow that you just weren't on social media and stuff. And someone was like, you're 2 hours away from being, a 6 again, or whatever he said. Well, he was removed from the aircraft. Had to stay in Cuba for God knows how long while he was captain's mast.
Yeah, I was going to say, did he go to captain's mast?
I think he might have actually. Well, no, captain's mast, because the person that he had said that to was a flag level officer. So that was a mistake for that person.
Again, the way that it seems harmless, like words, like it's not. I wouldn't say that.
Words are bad, but words are words. You shouldn't get offended. I agree. I just had this conversation at lunch. People get too offended these days.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like old man shouts at cloud, but in that situation, maybe just keep your mouth shut.
Oh yeah. He's in the wrong, but there are far worse things that. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't remember. Oh, so what I was comparing this to was, this is Cuba. This is not the whole country, because there's some probably beautiful Cuban women. This is the military base, Guantanamo Bay, and this is your flight home. Because this is definitely tasting... you don't think that this has...
you think...
Our affinity for sours, you don't think that this beer's first sip was amplified? Because the first sip I took out of this beer, I was like, oh shit.
The first sip cleared my palate, and then from there... Sorry, Stacy. So it was muddled, and then it's improved in flavor profile since then.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But we can appreciate. There's different kinds of. Everyone has a type, but you can appreciate beauties of a different type or origin or whatever. Type redundancy there. I just heard an amazing, dad joke. My thesaurus is too old. It is also old. Like, see, like
nice,
like a nice dad joke like that.
Very,
yeah,
that's a good dad joke actually.
I murdered it, but it's the
no. That's right. Yeah, that's a good. I think you got it right. I just had a lot of thoughts about this whole ranking women thing. I don't know. I don't do that.
Smash or pass.
I think our American women is the. Let me put. Okay, you've been to some of the same countries I've been to, and you've been to some that I haven't been to.
Some of them.
And I've been to some you haven't been to.
Some of them.
Are the melting pot, the diverse backgrounds of American women, of all ethnicities and races, are they at threat if some of these third world countries become first world countries? Because I think they are.
So I was in Djibouti last year.
Not under threat, physically.
I can say that. So I was in Djibouti last year, and we were at a hotel, and we were sitting right on the ocean. And there was going to be a fashion show, so I'm sitting with my back because, whatever. Like, it's just...
A national, like in a host country.
Yeah, in Djibouti.
Fashion show.
Yep. So it was a Ramadan fashion show.
Oh, interesting.
And so Ramadan starts tomorrow. Might be tonight. It might be tonight at sunset or tomorrow at sunset. Anyways, the reason why I bring it up, so all of these gorgeous women, tens, Djiboutian women, are walking around.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a Ramadan fashion show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So the fashion show starts. And again, it's outside, so lighting's different. And they come out in, typical Ramadan garb. So head to toe, hijabs. And there's burqa, all the different. But you don't have to have gorgeous women for this. You could put the troll under the bridge in that if you're just going to cover it. You know what I'm saying, though?
Like, I do know what you're saying.
It's insensitive.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying
that lasts an hour, and they've got like the people all around, like you see like Paris Fashion Week and stuff like that, all clapping or whatever.
So fashion shows from the perspective of a women's eye is not the same as it is from a men's eye. They're really looking at the clothes.
Yeah, it was all about the clothes. So then it ends.
That's what the fashion. But you're talking about like the person wearing the clothes.
Yeah. Then the women came back out, and they're again 11s. It's like it could have been a Miss Universe pageant.
Right. That's my bigger point here.
Yeah.
The Afghan women, if they were not so battered and oppressed, because we would see pictures of the 70s in Kabul, and Kabul was like
same with Iran before the Iranian.
Well, everyone knows Persian women. Persia, that region has a reputation as being just like phenomenal with good-looking people, but you don't think of Afghanistan in that way, and it's just like we would see these pictures, and I'd be like, this place would be like a destination vacation for single people. And like wealth, it would be like wealthy single people, if they would just not have the oppression that they have. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. And there's some beautiful American women. I'm not saying American women are ugly. They're not. They're great. They're beautiful. But I watch the Netflix. You all watch reality shows on Netflix?
Not on Netflix, no.
You should. There's some good ones.
I watched The Challenge and Traders. Those are my two reality shows.
I don't know Traders, but...
It started on Peacock. There are 2 seasons in. It's delightful.
I'll have to check it out. We've been watching like Love is Blind and stuff, and
90 Day Wife or whatever, 90 Day Fiance.
Oh yeah, that's a different show.
That. Okay.
That's a different.
I thought
that's like on
A&E
or something. It's the same thing basically. No, 90 Day Fiance is that? No. There's a show called Love at First. Is it? I don't know. Love at First Sight is kind of the thing, but it's like Love at First something. It's like
when they say Love at First Sight, she wants to see his bank account first. Oh.
No, they literally have to show up to the altar without seeing each other. Well, Love is Blind is different. They have to
weird.
They have to court each other without seeing each other, just all verbal. They're in like these.
There's some funny
pods
videos.
with microphones and shit.
There's some funny fucking videos.
Anyway.
Like some real trolls out there trying to, either sex or whatever, like fish or catfish them or whatever, like that.
Oh yeah.
Like nope, no, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like where.
Dating today.
Where do I
would be
put it?
Horrible. It would be a burden, I think, on people like us.
Yeah, superficial assholes that don't like California Commons or.
No, I think just dating. It's just people. Their expectations are they're weird. Anyway. All right, this beer. So I had alluded to some of it.
Here, no, you sit down. I got it.
You got it?
Oh, I got
dude.
I got you.
That's what a gift. All right, so this can art bonus segment brought to you by Bruce, right?
Bruno.
You see, I'm great at names. This can art was made by someone named Ariel Katerina. Her name is in the bottom of the bottom right of the sticker that is on the can.
You nailed it.
There's a good
the
word
sticker
for
is
that.
on the can.
There's that graces the can, I guess.
Adorns.
Adorns. It's like a bunch of
crazy hooligans.
just different things, different objects.
Different things
that are floating around in space, and splattered paint of some sort. I thought maybe originally everything would be kind of Illuminati because there's a piece of pizza here with an eye in it.
Yeah.
But not really any of the other stuff has that. There's like a broken heart, a star. These are kind of things that you would have like stickers for in elementary school. A sneaker with a Velcro, but also with shoelaces. A bear. There's a sparrow or a swallow. Actually, I think that's a swallow. And a berry and a tooth, a hat, a gear, alien, star, alien, another. There's an alien spaceship and an alien head.
This can is great if you like making lists of random shit.
Yeah, a dung beetle, and a bat, and sheep. That's about it. Diamond. I like the list of random shit. That'd be a fun game. List of random shit. But you have to figure out what they all have in common.
Riot Juice.
That'd be a good Wordle type game. Wordle took the nation by storm. You could be like list of random shit. That's the game name. Now don't steal this idea. And then you just
Cinderlands can, since they're a co-sponsor.
Yeah, they can. They can. Riot Juice. So that's the can art bonus segment. That's a great can art. Thanks, Ariel. Ariel's a good name. I think that's a good name for a girl. Is it a good name? Do you ever think about names that are great for children but horrible as they get older?
Shathayed.
Is that one?
Yep.
That's one, yeah. I think all the Aiden rhyming names are great for kids.
Shathayed is spelled shit.
But
once the kids
imagine having President Caden, that's what I like to do. When we were having kids, I was like, let's put president in front of their name and see if that name works on their resume. Because I just like all the Aidens and stuff. Caden, Jaden, Aiden, Braden, all that. And Skylar and all these kind of modern names. They don't work for me as adults. They work great for kids.
Or people taking classic names and then adding a classic name is Grace.
Grace.
But you put your take on it and spell Grace GQRAZEE.
Yeah.
Grace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or GRS.
Yes, GRS.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the next example.
A lot of bands and stuff take the vowels out. Now I don't know why they're doing that. It's fine though. They can do that. It's their right. Riot Juice. This beer, it really. So you said it was really tart. That was one of the ways that you described it. I think that the tartness is more subtle than really.
It's more subtle than really.
I think what the main aspect of this beer, the main attribute of this beer, and maybe a little bias here, is that the vanilla is delivered in almost the exact same way as my favorite beer, Cali Creamin'. It is just...
Orally.
Yes, through the can. Amazing delivery of vanilla. It's not overdone, and it actually complements the beer perfectly. The lime is the second flavor. So if you were to reorder these, like dog food, they say, make sure all the real ingredients are at the top. And all that like weird processed shit's on the bottom. So it says with blackberry, lime, and vanilla. I would actually put it in reverse order: vanilla, lime, blackberry.
Do you know why they did it that way?
I think they did it that way because sour ales typically are fruited, and the fruit is the primary. I don't know.
They did it alphabetically.
You think that's why they did that?
That's 100% why they did it.
I don't think so. I think that was just...
Name a beer that has vanilla first.
That's a good point. You got me. I can't.
Even like a Breckenridge, like vanilla snowdrift or whatever like that. Vanilla is the last thing that's...
Oh, really? Maybe like a vanilla stout.
A little vanilla goes a long way.
That's true. Vanilla is very concentrated.
So then that goes to your like, they do it in quantity like they do with like other ingredients like bread, wheat is, the first one. Beer, water, but they don't have to do... Besides they're like tacit, these things are in there. Typically by quantity. On this one, alphabetically.
Yeah. Interesting. It just brings up so much. I went to Yellow Springs Brewery this weekend. I was near it and went there. They had a milk stout that did not deliver on the milk sugar. But it's okay. I felt like it was stouty. It was just it was very coffee. Good though. No complaints about the beer itself. Just if you were to say, hey, what kind of beer is this? I would say stout, coffee stout probably.
So you would have said, Love is Blind. You would have tried to court this beer.
Yeah, I would have courted that beer for sure. I would have courted that beer all the way to marriage. And then I would have left it at the altar, crying. That's the best part of Love is Blind. That's the thing. They figured it out. Well, they actually haven't figured it out. Originally, more couples made it to the altar.
Yeah.
But now,
they're finding
no one's making it to the altar, and only 2 couples are, and they love each other. It's weird. You want drama. That's the key. You need the drama. But it's organic. You can't manufacture this shit. It's not like The Bachelorette where you can just produce scripts and make sure everyone learns their script each week.
Here's your rose.
Sorry for anyone who didn't know that The Bachelor was scripted. It might be. I don't know. I made that up. Do you watch that show?
No.
No, me neither.
Nope.
My mom does, and that's why I said that, because I want her to be upset that I said that.
Interesting.
Did I ruin The Bachelor?
She hasn't commented in almost 10 episodes.
My mom has been gallivanting across the world. Too busy for our podcast.
Oh, wow.
She came out here a couple weeks ago just because she had time, but she's been going on cruises and she's going to other countries and
is she telling you are you still doing that one thing that you were doing?
Yeah, raising kids and stuff. Yeah, I'm doing that. That one thing? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm doing she listens to the podcast still. She's listening to this episode right now.
That's crazy.
Now in her world.
And there's Chuggalo Mom. We've got her tied up in the corner.
She just called. Yeah, so this beer is vanilla, lime, blackberry. The blackberry is so subtle. I think it only gives it kind of gives I would say not even a berry sweetness to it. I'm going to put this in a category that you might disagree with. I think it gives it like a red grape kind of darkness to this beer. It just sweetness even. It just kind of brings it home in a I can't even describe what a red grape would do, but just like whatever this blackberry is doing, it just kind of it's like almost what even is it? It's like a syrupy. I don't know. I don't want to say syrupy.
Yeah, because
what does it do?
Red grapes aren't syrupy.
No, it just gives it a
dry tartness.
Dark, yeah, like some sort of, it just brings the flavor away from the lime. If that's the only way I could describe it, it just brings the flavor away from the lime at the last minute, at the last second there.
It's like a blonde passing you in a red convertible as you're on a family vacation
yeah.
to Wally World.
God, what a great trip that was. With your aunt on the roof.
That bitch had it coming.
Yeah, she was mean. Boy, they don't make them like they used to, those movies. National Lampoon is.
That's because Chevy Chase is a real asshole.
I heard that. Like him and
Bill Murray. A lot of people say.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I thought Bill Murray was a really nice guy. But Chevy Chase and
Bill Murray's particular.
Who's the guy in Community, the main character? I know this too. Joel McHale. They had apparently
Joel McHale is one of the nicest people.
They had fist fought multiple times on that show. Multiple times. And Joel McHale's awesome. The soup, I can't believe they got rid of the soup. What an enormous disservice to humanity by getting rid of the soup.
And he was like the second host. Well, then they tried to do it on Netflix or whatever, but Joel McHale,
well, that wasn't even
by all accounts is like one of the most kind, gifting, like we could call him up and be like, "Hey, Joel, we do this podcast."
Yeah,
and he agrees to do.
He should do it. I have so many questions for him. I have followed him
because the original Talk Soup guy was a guy named Hal. No, it wasn't Hal Sparks. That's another guy.
It was Bubba Sparks.
It was the guy. Dirty.
Uncle Cracker.
Guy had it.
I don't know, but Joel McHale, incredible
from
comedian,
Seattle.
love him, and
him and not Kim Jong Il, but Ken Jeong.
Different.
Rivalry is hilarious, and I'm glad
they have a rivalry.
Oh my god!
Like a real one or a manufactured?
Manufactured, but it carries over onto their shows.
Okay. Like Ken Jeong is, he is an accomplished man.
Well, yeah, being an internist, and then
he is an MD.
Yeah, internist. So
I don't know. Oh, internist. I thought you were
internal medicine.
Internal medicine. Okay. I don't know all the medical terms. I don't have any nurses in the house.
But he's hilarious on Masked Singer and stuff like that too. So
yeah. So anyway, Joe McHale and Chevy Chase fist fought. There's a my YouTube recommendations are off the fucking chains, like in a bad way.
That's why I try not to be when I'm watching my videos. I try not to be on our account.
Yeah, same. I try not to be. I sometimes accidentally am.
Yeah.
But like, I'll watch one Joe Rogan highlight, and all of a sudden, every fucking recommendation that's in my YouTube thing is all podcasts and stuff. Anyway, I have so many more thoughts to talk about, but I'm gonna give this beer one more sip. I give this beer a 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
I think the only thing that you could do, it is a good beer, and I do struggle to figure out what you could do better. I'm sorry, Hidden Springs. You got to smoothie this beer. This beer's a 5 as a smoothie. With puree in it.
I agree with you. Yeah. Like marshmallow.
Marshmallow. You gotta puree it. You gotta put some lime. What is that stuff called? The
zest.
What's the stuff in orange juice?
Pulp.
Put some pulp in here. Make me roll the can and amp that fucking vanilla up to 11. This beer's a 5.
This beer is crushable. And
totally crushable.
Off the top rope, it's a 4 or 5. JT took in Candyland, for all the Candyland fans out there, JT went around all the spaces. I picked up the fucking ice cream cone on my second turn, and I'm near the finish. I'm already done with this beer. Like,
can you put it in terms of, like Chutes and Ladders or Monopoly?
Yeah, Chutes and Ladders. So I'm going up. I think the long ladder on Chutes and Ladders is 22. 22 takes you to 77. I think that's the biggest move in the game.
I wasn't expecting you to be that.
I think that's the ladder. Well, I have small kids and we play games.
Just real quick shout to Monopoly. I don't know about this new Monopoly, the app version.
Yeah.
But they just released Monopoly Cheaters Edition. Have you played this?
No.
It's fucking awesome. You can cheat, and it is awesome. You can literally steal people's hotels. It is It is the most fun version of Monopoly I've ever played.
Okay, so that's the last thing that a game ever needs because people already flip tables on Monopoly.
Yeah, no, this is 10 times better. It's even more table flippable.
Like, you get up to take a piss and you come back and you're bankrupt.
Oh, you cannot get up to take a piss during this game.
Monopoly takes way too long.
No, it doesn't take that long. That's the thing, is that by cheating, you actually push the game forward faster.
Yeah.
So you can there's only 6 cheats at a time.
Oh, okay.
So one of the cards in the middle of the board is a cheat.
Oh, you can't just. I can't just like.
You can't just like cheat on your own.
Gotcha.
You have to have. So my sons played that way, and they said it was awesome. So we bought the game based on that recommendation. Turns out they weren't reading the rules. They were just cheating
Monopoly
constantly.
Not reading the rules.
They were just cheating constantly. But you put there's 6 cheats at a time, and there's a whole stack of cheat things. Like one of them is you can steal from the bank. Okay, but no one can see you. So if someone sees you steal from the bank and they call you out before the next dice roll, then on the other side of that cheat card, there's a penalty for if you get caught cheating. So this game is, I have to say, we're not sponsored by Monopoly or the company that makes it.
Parker Brothers.
This game is fucking awesome. It is actually awesome.
The only Monopoly question that matters, if you're playing a standard game of Monopoly, do you put all of the fine and everything money into the middle for free parking?
No. Well, you know what? It's been a while since I played the original version. I've always said no to Monopoly until this Cheaters Edition. Not always, but the last time I played Monopoly, and this hopefully it doesn't spark any memories for Chuggalo Mom, but we went and picked up my grandma from
was
Florida.
Was it incomplete Monopoly? Was it a sad
Monopoly? When my grandpa died? Yeah. I think we played Monopoly.
There's no
in
Marvin
Florida.
Gardens.
And that was the last time I played Monopoly.
There's only I think it's two of the places on the Monopoly board don't exist in real life. One of them is Marvin Gardens because it's spelt differently in real life, and I forget the other one.
It's probably Trump Tower, or at least the one I play on.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. I don't play on Monopoly that has a Trump Tower. Okay, everyone, relax. Don't go to the comments.
Off the top rope again, 4.5. It would do a little bit. It's crushable the way it is. Like,
totally great.
It's
crushable 4 or 5 beer.
Like, my palate's not wrecked, and I'm ready for the next beer for sure. Again, the higher viscosity, some more gimmicks, but this is ungimmicked.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a good way to put it. It's
what I appreciate about picking this beer and is on my spreadsheet I had 3 beers I've had that were unattributable, and one of them was from Hidden Springs. So this is the second one. I did these guys, Hidden Springs, on BCP Shorts, episode 70. I Am the Walrus.
Should we start holding breweries more accountable for their names, for the names of the beer?
Hidden Springs.
I remember I Am the Walrus. Good. That was a good beer.
Yeah. So you must have bequeathed that to me.
Yeah, I did.
So I had it as a short, which makes sense because you had it when I was gone?
Yeah, I must have.
So I don't have that on the spreadsheet. Anytime that you want to update
the spreadsheet. I got that. I actually have that information for you.
But I had it on 70, and I had it on May 4th of last year.
May 4th. Great day.
My mom's birthday.
That's a fun day for people who like Star Wars.
My mom's birthday.
And your mom's
never
birthday.
Seen any Star Wars.
I've seen one. No, I've seen a few.
Episode 1.
I've seen favorite. Episode 3. No, episode 4,
Phantom
and I've
Menace.
seen episode 7.
But I agree. Going back, Hidden Springs is a weak name.
Yeah, Hidden Springs is a weak name.
Ale
for
Works.
Sure.
That's too long.
I'm not talking about the brewery name. I'm talking
your
about the beer
website
names.
is Hidden Spring
I'm talking about
Ale
the beer
Works.
names. Like Riot Juice is a better name for the smoked Schwartz beer.
No, it's
because that is a fucking riot, and it is an unpleasant riot.
So the Furtag is the name of that beer, and that means bonfire in German.
Okay, that's a good name for that beer. Okay, so see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's a good name for the beer.
It's a German
do you
style
think
beer.
Riot Juice fits this beer?
Yeah.
No.
What do you want it to be? Piss and vinegar?
No. This beer should be, the name of this beer should be, okay, first of all, the label, the name doesn't even match the can art. and the can art and name don't match the beer. This beer should be called Parfait, and yeah, it should be. It should be Vanilla Parfait. Or some play on that. Like vanilla.
Vanilla Parfait sounds
Parfait All Day. That's a good name for this beer. This beer's name is now Parfait All Day. And the label, the art shouldn't, it just doesn't match. There's pizza on it.
Vanilla Parfait.
I would never drink this beer with a pizza.
The basic Becky bitch beer of all
Parfait All Day.
Parfait All Day.
That's a good name.
There's going to be a Parfait. There's got to be Parfait All
Day. The
Day.
label of this has a fucking piece of pizza on it. And if you have a piece of pizza on a beer, you're giving me one of two things. You're giving me a Pilsner or you're giving me an IPA. You're not giving me a sour with a fucking piece of pizza on it that has an eyeball as a piece of pepperoni.
So there's two.
There's two beers named Parfait All Day.
Yep. One of them's by Craft House.
Okay.
It's an Imperial Parfait Sour.
Imperial Parfait Sour. What's the ABV on that
I'm going to look that up. And the other one's a double milkshake beer, which I would have expected.
A double milkshake what?
IPA.
That's not a good Parfait All
So 8.1 for the sour fruited, and for the
8.1. Let's try that beer if we can get our hands on that. Who makes that beer?
Craft House.
Craft House. What is that?
HAUS. So the German spelling.
Sure. So
and then Parfait All Day is a Imperial double, and that's an 8.2.
I like this game.
Let's find out.
Make up beer names and then see if there's already beers named that.
They're from Henderson, Nevada, so
the Parfait All Day.
That's a terrible.
Craft House sounds good.
Multiple layers of strawberry, blueberry, and a side between nutty granola.
That sounds. I mean, that's vanilla, complex. That's you got granola and shit in there.
That's over promise.
That's complicated. No, I know already. I guarantee you, I know what's in that beer. There's berries, probably fake berry flavor. The granola is graham cracker. And everything else is milk sugar.
Yeah.
But it sounds good, actually. I'd try it. Does it have good scores?
Yeah, it does well.
Well, look at that. Coffee House. Give us a shout out.
Shout
Craft House. Send us some fucking beer.
392 average.
392. That's super high for Untapped.
Yeah.
392.
That's like for an IMDb, that's doing well.
Yeah, for IMDb. But we're talking about Untapped.
No, I'm saying IMDb, everything's between a 5.7 and a 7.2.
Unless you're Breaking Bad. Then
you're on. This is rare. I feel like I should, we didn't do a starter beer. I feel like you should have another beer. I feel like you're in rare. Just like we could gang tape these.
I have a lot to say. I have a lot of thoughts that have passed and gone. Well, we could do another beer if you want. You have another beer to do? What time is it? I got time.
I got. We're gonna do a rapid fire one because
I want
to harness this JT.
Let's harness it. So I'll talk while you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing about the beer names. We've had a few in the past that
Here's
I think
the thing about beer
I've mentioned the name. So there's some names that just work. Boat Show, Truth, like these IPA names that don't have anything to do with flavor. If you're gonna name your beer anything that doesn't have to do with flavor, I think that's okay. Truth, you can't really say that any one beer would be Truth over the other. But like Riot Juice, you gotta deliver a Riot.
Everything I have is really big, so let's split one.
All right.
I don't have a lot of stuff that I'm
it's good.
comfortable with.
Thanks.
Sending you off into the ether.
I appreciate that.
This is gonna be other half, which is my brewer of the year so far. Green.
Wow, so far.
Down to the socks.
Other half, Grain Works is the one who did Brown Note, right? Or is it other half?
No, other half is a newcomer onto our scene. Grain Works was done by our Brown Note. So anyways, this is a double dry hopped Imperial India Pale Ale.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's it called?
This is Green Down to the Socks.
Green Down to the Socks.
Other half is exploded in the area, and I'm so glad that they're everywhere. They have a lot of diversity. They're very IPA centric, but they have interesting takes. Like, look how pale and cloudy, like orange juice that is.
Can I ask you to describe this can art in one sentence before I do, just to see if we're on the same page?
to describe grandma's wallpaper when you're on drugs.
Not quite.
On acid.
I wish that I was on that level, but this is a Bill Cosby sweater beer.
His sweaters are not that busy. No
yeah,
way.
yeah, they're this busy. This is definitely a Bill Cosby sweater.
Can I tell you something awesome that is going to appreciate to the listeners?
Mm-hmm.
Is Chuggalos, Stev's dad, the Deuce, tags me in every beer that he has.
You know, I thought him and Phil were supposed to hang out, and I don't think they have yet.
I am not. I've told people, and I've gone on record, I'm upset if you tag me in beers that I'm not there for, like all the time.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that do it, but I've cooled my jets a little bit to it because the people that are doing it now aren't doing it in an antagonistic way.
Right.
They're just sharing. Hardly ever. Like, it just pops up on my phone.
It's more of a notification for you. Like, hey, check this out.
But with that, I do want to go to C-Jacks with them.
Yes.
Because that's their fucking haunt.
Great. I'm glad you brought... I just went to C-Jacks with Chuggalos Phil and my kids' wife. Amazing place. The sticky burger is the best I've had.
Again, the French fries there
there are good. They are good.
As long as you don't get the one
waitress,
I hope she's gone. There's one waitress there that's absolutely abhorrent. Everyone else there is pleasant. I had a waitress,
but I don't know who she was. What was her name?
Amazing. Old, so Blanche or Dolores.
Not old. I had a young waitress. And I saw the Suze. The Suze came by several times. And just an amazing person. Just lights up the room, really.
She does.
The lights in that restaurant are illuminated by the Suze. 100%. Just awesome.
It's her electricity that lights that place.
It's just an awesome person to be around. That's the type of person you want in your life. But that restaurant, just very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Tons of awesome beer. They have a good one now. There's a sour there. It's a standard brewery that we get all the time. I'll have to think about it for a second to remember it. But yeah, great place.
Rapid fire questions for you.
And you want to go there with Stev's dad?
I want to reward we haven't hung out since, it's going to be 3 months here in a couple of days since we did the Monumental episode. Oh, by the way, Outshout Barrel House, their next collab beer with Street Side, it's an interstate pastry stout series beer. It's going to be tapped on the 30th of March. So that's a Saturday. Street Side.
Street Side, yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to try to make it down. We'll see.
I've had some Street Side issues.
The next few weekends are a crapshoot, as the last couple of weekends have been. So
summer's coming. It's always harder to get out there. I always see their social media posts from summertime, and it's all single people.
At Barrel House?
Yeah.
Really?
Young people who
that must be later in the day.
Don't like the things I like. Oh, well, yeah. If you go at 2:30 in the afternoon, yeah, you're gonna find people our age.
I've been to Barrel House once after 5 o'clock.
I don't actually think I've ever been there after 5 o'clock. I tried once.
One day when we did a date night. And
we had the dogs.
Yeah.
And they said no. They said no.
Even on the patio?
Something was going on with the patio.
Oh.
So it was a double no.
It's very small.
Yeah. So I couldn't go. But that was the only time that I don't think dogs are allowed on the patio either, actually.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know the rules, but for whatever, we were out, and my wife and I were out, probably hiking at Hills and Dales or something, and we had the dogs, and we were like, you know what would be awesome right now? A fucking beer.
Yeah.
And they said no, so we went home. Said no to the dogs.
I don't know if I've ever seen.
They didn't say no to the beer. Obviously, they'll never say no to the beer.
I don't know if I've ever seen dog. Just because it's such a small area.
Yeah, it's very small.
And it's indoor.
I get it. They don't want dogs
fabric.
on that tiny little patio.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to bring them in. And interesting enough, Crooked Handle, to get to the patio where the dogs are allowed, you have to go through the bar because it's a strip mall.
Oh.
So we actually had to bring our dogs. This was back when we had just the Shiba Inu. We had to walk through the bar with our dog, which seems kind of not a good idea.
Couth?
Yeah. Anyway.
God.
You had something queued up. Questions. Rapid fire.
Yeah, I was going to do rapid fire sports ball questions. But
Let's do it.
But no, we can save it. I mean, we could talk about this because otherwise, we got. I thought it was going to be shorter. We got bigger quickly, which was good.
We did.
But we've got a couple of weeks till first pitch here, so we could do it next week.
Oh, first pitch, yeah. Well, I mean, I have a couple questions. Are you following the prospects?
A little.
You
bit.
got Churios. He's the number one guy. He's the Brewers. I don't have any questions about him.
By the way, the Brewers have a guy named Brewer, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
And he's hit 2 home runs so far.
Is he going to be on the Major League roster?
No, he won't.
Okay.
No.
Joey Votto's going to play for the Blue Jays. Local
minor league deal.
I don't see how they could exclude him. How can you not play for fucking first base? Who's their first baseman?
It doesn't matter.
He's a clubhouse presence.
Joey Votto's hit below 210 the last 2 seasons.
Just let him hit 9th and just fuck it, you know?
He's going to 9th at first base at like your prime production.
But who do you have? Who do you have at first base?
I think I'm changing my keepers. It doesn't matter.
I think I'm changing my keepers too. I'm going to have Jordan be a keeper this year, I think.
Obviously.
No, you don't like that?
I would have to look at your. My keeper selection is 3 because I'm keeping Trey Turner and obviously Acuna, who's the best player on the planet.
Fantasy wise,
with exception Ohtani.
Yes.
Is,
who I have as a hitter.
So we'll say NL.
And I still am sour about not having him be a one player in fantasy. I'll never not be upset about it because I had both of them the first year he was a rookie.
Is going to be Castellanos versus Arenado.
Castellanos as a keeper.
I think I'm
interesting.
I have him right now as a keeper. I think I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to
Acuna,
go back to Arenado because otherwise I'm so crowded in the outfield.
Who's your first baseman? I will say from experience, first basemen are hard to come by. No, that guy.
No, first basemen are not hard to come by.
They are hard to come by.
Nope.
Yes, they are.
I don't agree. So much production compared to like shortstop for a second.
Obviously shortstop. I have Tatis. I'll probably keep Tatis.
But you come into it when like there's rife and the game is much more like there was a dearth at like second base and shortstop like 10 years ago. Like second, and now it's kind of catcher. Catcher goes like 5 deep.
Yeah.
And there's maybe one keeper. Not even Will Smith.
There's no catcher.
There's no
keepers.
catcher.
Real Muto would be a fringe keeper if you had no one else on your team.
Because he's in such a deep and protected lineup, and that was the Castellanos trade. But I'm like, Arenado is going to be trending upward, and Castellanos I think is trending downward.
The Cardinals, I don't know where they're getting these like Pacoda projections. I know that's a statistical thing, but the Cardinals are basically the best team in 2006. Like, it makes no sense that they're projected to beat the Cubs or the Brewers. The Brewers and the Cubs are, like, at the bottom of the fucking barrel.
No. The Brewers are projected to finish 4th.
Yeah, and the Cubs are projected to finish 5th.
No.
At least on ESPN.
No. Because everyone knows that Pittsburgh's going to be best.
Pittsburgh's going to be so good. Pittsburgh's going to be so good. Yeah, they're going to be good.
They got Cabrian at a fucking steal.
Cabrian's great.
He's gonna renegotiate the shit out of that.
He's
contract.
Gonna be good.
He'll overperform it.
They have a couple pitchers, and they got the number one prospect in baseball, pitching prospect anyway.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens, who won't be in the majors until probably 2026, but that's okay. He got pretty lit up by Jackson Holiday. My question was about Jackson Holiday.
Or was it going to be Trevor Bauer, how he dominated a bunch of Dodger minor leaguers?
Do you think Trevor Bauer's going to play in the major leagues this year?
Should he? Yes.
Yes.
Do I think?
Agreed.
No.
I don't understand it.
It's a
here's the thing.
It's a PR thing. It's
a contender.
He's being railroaded.
He is being railroaded. 100%. He's being railroaded. A contender in July is going to pick up Trevor Bauer.
A contender, it would only be Houston because Houston has dealt with blowback on negative content.
It's going to be
and
more.
every reasonable individual. I'm going to look at every reasonable individual knows that he got railroaded. It's all out there. but people are just like clickbait, and he's got the stink on him because people won't read more than words that come in 140 characters or whatever.
He got burned. He got burned by
fuck off. Like,
just by culture.
He's calling the pitch out to these people, and they can't hit it.
He touched 99.
He can't. Yeah, and that was said. Oh, he can't tickle. He's hit 99. He's not in a major. He's not. He's doing it all himself.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did that warming up at a fucking like high school baseball field. There's no facilities. There's none of that shit. I think Trevor Bauer will. I think he will get picked up in the summer, not before the season. And I think it'll take a PR department to just say, "Go fuck yourself. We're gonna hire this guy and we're gonna win." Aroldis Chapman came to the Cubs the season after he had beaten his wife and shot a gun into his garage ceiling. I think we can hire Trevor Bauer, who didn't do those things.
So it won't be the Dodgers, even though the Dodgers are the spendthrift.
Yeah, it won't be the Dodgers because they had him.
Yeah. I could see the Astros or whatever doing it.
I could see maybe the Astros. I could actually see one of the lower...
Because they have a history of doing it.
I could see the Phillies maybe doing it. I could see one of the lower teams like the Pirates, a lower market team. So you're
saying like Kansas City. Kansas City is going to be trending upward with Bobby Witt Jr.
Well, we need more than that.
Like, this society, this type of climate and everything that we live in, but...
Well, I did have a team that I thought he was going to, but I forgot who I thought he was going to. The AL Central is an enticing fit for him because the whole division's up for grabs from any team all season. I don't really see
that division is
a winner there.
A dead spot. It's Death Valley of
all
baseball.
All 5 teams, 500 all year.
Again, it's just a bum fight. It's like one guy has a bowling pin, the other guy has an empty plastic bag that has got like a roll of pennies in it.
Yeah, and you sign Trevor Bauer, and now he's your ace all of a sudden.
He's the best pitcher in the division.
Yeah, I mean White Sox, Twins. Who else you got?
Tigers, Indians, Guardians,
and Royals. Yeah, I don't know who's even winning that division. Is that a question you had?
Yeah, it's a bum fight. Like,
I think the White Sox are going to win that division only because I think Luis
500.
Robert and Eloy Jimenez won't fucking suck this year.
And the Tigers went out and spent a lot of money.
Yeah, but they still got Javi Baez, and he's never been the same since he was a Cub. Have you seen those like memes of like Loyola University basketball
Jim
team
Leland
has, like,
is still coaching the Tigers.
The sister,
JT,
the nun that like comes out and roots for
Loyola. Yeah.
Sister Jean.
Yeah.
Like there's a meme of her striking out Javi Baez. He's just like swinging at nothing. It's awesome. I love it. Anyway.
That's very localized, but it works.
People know because Loyola was a high ranked. They were number 1, right? They made it to the championship a couple years ago.
They made it to the
Final Four,
Elite 8. Maybe it was the Final Four.
I think Final Four.
Where are they speaking of which, before First Friday. First Friday will be a week from this Friday. It's one of my favorite days of the year. I love celebrating in Vegas. I'm going to be here. I organize a big pool for all of my employees and all of my peers' employees. It's typically we have like 25 to 30 people, and we're $800 is up for grabs.
Whoa, shit!
The employees toss in nothing. It's just all the supervisors or whatever.
Oh man, I want in on this.
Last year we had $850, and there was only 28 people. So it's just a lot of fun. So, anyways, we're in an exciting, and then WrestleMania. Don't get me started. We don't have that much. We're on the precipice. So we've got spring training still going, NCAA tournament, men's and women's, and you had a fist fight in the fucking SEC championship between South Carolina and LSU. 8 players ejected between the females.
That was the women's.
Just fucking giving.
None of those teams can play those in the first round of the...
Yeah, but...
so, upset city, probably.
So South Carolina is going to be a 1 seed, and LSU, the defending national champions, are probably going to be projected a 3 seed. Whoever says that we don't go deep on both sports...
What about Iowa? I mean, don't they have the highest scoring female athlete ever?
Iowa's going to be a 1 seed in another region.
in another region.
So I think they keep them and LSU separated.
Yeah. Get them to the championship.
Just to try to get them to the championship.
Yeah.
The other 1 seed for sure is going to be Stanford, and I forget the fourth one. But man, we go deep. WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Check out. Here's my hot take. Your biggest face in the company. That's going to be WrestleMania XL or WrestleMania 40. They dropped the Roman numerals. Every 10th WrestleMania, your face of the company works 2 matches.
Oh.
So Cody Rhodes is going to be working 2. He's the face of the company. WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart worked 2 matches. I forget WrestleMania 20 who worked 2 matches. But again, it's worked out. No one is a big wrestling fan that listens to this. But anyways, it's worked out. And the tradition is going to continue. I don't like it because it takes away spots from other people that are very deserving. And then you're saving, you're doing night 1 is your preamble, and night 2 is your main event, where before it's been big events.
Two main events, yeah. You could afford to go deep on WrestleMania. You're streaming.
Becky deserves a main event slot. Bayley deserves a main event slot.
Why don't they just do a whole day? 24-hour WrestleMania.
It's too. You wear out, and this you get 2 ticket. You get 2 gates.
I get that.
So next year it's rumored to be in Minneapolis, which has already created consternation. Here's my hot take, JT, and I want to close on this thought.
All right, let's close on this thought.
This is a meaty episode. Holy shit. WrestleMania, essentially our backyard. It was already said. I was looking at ticket prices equivalent because it's going to be a stadium show. It's going to be at US Bank. The core group of friends said, Matt, we are not going to be sitting ringside, not ringside, but on the floor. It's not worth spending the money on it. How much would you be willing to spend for a good seat of like a Blink-182 show? Like
I think I spent what I would be willing to spend.
Like, let's say, I don't know how to frame it. So, anyways,
I get what you're saying.
This is gonna be the division. I'm just gonna throw myself out there. We went to WrestleMania 22 in Chicago and we spent $400 a ticket, and there were pretty good seats. 2 decades later, it's going to be 19 years after we went to a WrestleMania. I am okay spending $2,000 on a ticket.
I'd spend $2,000.
And my peers,
but I would need to know ahead of time, like a far ahead of time.
Yeah. And the people were like, "Well, set up a GoFundMe and stuff like that." And I'm not throwing shade, but again, I'm done with going to a sporting event and not having a good seat.
Yeah.
I am doing well enough in life
have good seats
where I don't just need to be present at the event. I want to be able to see the event.
Yeah, I hear you.
The same thing with like baseball. I'm going to sit in the lower bowl. Or like if I'm just going to be social, I understand I'm going to be social. Yeah. I want to see the event. Yeah. Like I'll go to Reds games and sit up on the bar. Like this is something I'm very passionate about. Going to Packers games, I'm lower bowl or I'm not going.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like it's going to be. It was Aaron Rodgers' last game at Lambeau, and I happened to go, and we still spent I think like $250 a ticket for lower bowl. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's football though. Football is very expensive these days. Yeah, but WrestleMania is not an NFL game. WrestleMania is like a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
In many cases.
And both of us have already been.
Yeah, you'd pay a little more for that.
Oh yeah. So, and I appreciate where people are at, but like I'm not gonna go. Like if it's like we're gonna spend $400 or $500.
Yeah. No, have for great upper deck. Yeah.
Have a great time.
No. Yeah, I agree.
I appreciate.
We did that for Royal Rumble in St. Louis. We sat high. There was fucking lights in our eyes, and it was a nightmare. Nope. Yeah, it was dumb. You spent a lot of money to get there.
Yeah.
Dumb. I agree.
But the caveat: Packers go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not spending $17,000.
Well, I didn't go to the World Series with the Cubs, and that was my whole life, and it was just too much.
Yeah, like your fan of very apt, even way better than any thing that I could say or whatever. But especially with the drought and everything, the fandom or whatever, never knowing if it would happen again. Like what was a typical Cubs ticket?
Oh, thousands, like probably 10,000.
For a base, yeah.
For a lower bowl, yeah, at least. Yeah.
I still would have made
season ticket holders were the only ones who got any kind of deal.
I still would have made fun of Chris Shuck, but anyways, JT, it's that time.
That's it. 270. I got to piss like crazy.
I do too.
And we're done. Bye.